as light as the soul can be, something that's very close to my heart. Today I want to talk about man's or woman's best friend. So a lot of you might be wondering, what's the thing that's the man or woman's best friend? Some of you might think that it's a diamond. Some of you might think that it's property. Or some of you might think that it's that favorite cricket bat that you have. But the essence of it is that the man and woman's best friend is a pet, someone that you can keep in company with. So the reason why I chose this topic is because it's quite close to my heart, and I had an encounter which shaken me totally to the core. So what happened was one day while I was out having lunch with my friends, and here we are having lunch and we're eating, and all of a sudden we heard a loud bang. We went out, we checked out what was it, and we found out that a stray dog got hit by a car, and the dog was lying on the ground, wriggling in pain, and we were wondering what we're going to do with it. So the most obvious thing that we can think of was to leave it, but then again, it's not the most humane of things, and being dog lover and dog owners that I am, we felt that we should really, bring it to the nearest clinic for it to be treated. So, and that's what we did. We brought the dog to the nearest clinic, which is about 30 minutes away from the point where we found it. And throughout that 30-minute journey, what really impacted us was that how much in grief that dog is. So it was a really nasty experience. It's one of the worst 30 minutes that you could have. And when we reached to the hospital, it gets worse. We were told that the dog couldn't be saved because it had suffered critical concussion to date, and it's not worth saving it because it's straight. And the final decision ultimately was to put it to sleep, and that is what we did. So which brings us to the topic that I want to share with the audience today, which I'm trying to build an interest in encouraging people to have pets as companions. So one of the reasons why that you want to have a pet as a companion is because I believe that it builds responsibility. I think it's a great way for people to actually learn how to care for another living creature in that way, by having a pet, by feeding it, by taking care of it. So I believe that's a very good way to build responsibility, except that you don't really have to, actually have fun with that kid. But the point that I'm trying to make is, you can build responsibility, you can teach a child responsibility by having a pet, because you have to nurture it, you have to watch it grow. And I believe that's one of those ways that you can induce a kind of sense of responsibility in bringing up a pet. Now, it doesn't have to be a dog or a cat or whatnot, but a pet can be something. A pet can be something. A pet can be a dog or a cat. I'm sorry, I think I'm losing it here.
How about monkey?
No, monkey's out of the way. Monkeys.
Girlfriend.
The point I'm trying to say is that the choice of the pet is entirely up to individual liking, right? But you shouldn't choose something that's on the endangered list, obviously. That is totally off limits. And the choice of the pet reflects how you want to connect with your pet eventually. So that's one thing. Another thing that you might want to consider in choosing a pet will be the place of a residence. How are you going to bring it up? Okay, I know there are some restrictions to the kind of pets that you can bring up in a HDB or in a apartment or in the landed property that you might have. So that is one of the criteria that you have to take into account as well. And another thing I would like to touch on is that having a pet and bringing it up, you have to learn how to care for it, and you have to learn how to housebreak it if need be. And talking in that sense, you have to spend considerable amount of time with the pet. So not necessarily you have to, you can't just leave it at home for days on end and just enjoy yourself. But the whole point is that having a pet or having a pet as a companion will help in nurturing our soul, in helping, igniting our sense of caring. And I think that's one of those things and one of those habits that we should have.